The fifth key to successful cooperative learning is team building. Team building is the same as class building, just on a smaller scale, in which you want your smaller teams to get to know each other, trust each other, to develop that team identity so that they want to work together, so that they can successfully work together. And this is an ongoing process. Once again, when we first form teams, we do a lot of team building. But even after teams have been together for several weeks, I will throw in a team building activity here or there. Doesn't need to be super long. It could be just a 15, 20 minute, even shorter, sometimes a 5 minute activity, just to keep building that trust and that sense of community within their team. So, how do we set up this team identity? Well, we want to provide activities that help teammates get to know each other better, because as you get to know somebody, you that develops into a friendship. And when you find commonalities, right, you have that connection. You feel connected. Also, when we look at differences, those differences can help the team figure out how they're going to work together. So if students discover, all right, this person really likes to just start in on a project right away, this person needs more time to brainstorm, we can then set up team discussions. So how are we going to work through this? How are we going to be successful knowing that we have these different styles? Also, we have to teach the study or the social skills for our students to show them how they can disagree politely, how they can come to consensus, how to provide genuine praise to each other. And also, we need to provide opportunities for the teams to celebrate their accomplishments. So, we need to build that into our academic activities that we're doing. The sixth key is social skills. These are the skills needed to be a good team member. Kagan has a huge list. So, how to praise, how to come to consensus, how to state your point, how to be an active listener, how to encourage others. All of those are social skills. And what we know is some of these skills will naturally develop in the process of working together. For example, if students have always worked independently, they often haven't learned how to praise each other. So, but as they're working together and on a common task, that skill often just naturally emerges. Other skills, though, will need to be modeled, reinforced, and practiced. So, our role as teachers is to figure out what skills are needed and then to build in activities. So, I might, for example, if I see my students are having a hard time um, being able to disagree in a polite form, right? They want to immediately attack or say you're wrong or call somebody a name, then I might, a couple of days a week, I might build in a 5 to 10 minute type of thing where I'm giving them a situation where I know there's going to be disagreement. I model for them how to work through that, what kinds of things they can say. I give them a situation where they practice it. We debrief and talk about it. That's how I just automatically build it in. Now, a little tip for you: the social skills that you decide to focus on will depend on the particular group of students you have. So you need to watch your group, see which social skills they're doing well in and acknowledge that, and then see which ones that they're struggling with. And then you build in your little mini social skills lessons and activities to give them practice in that skill. Our final key, our seventh key, refers to the basic principles of PIES. We have already discussed these, but just as a reminder, PIE stands for positive interdependence, individual accountability, equal participation, and simultaneous interaction. And when group work off when it doesn't go well, it's often because one or more of these four principles is not being met. So as you're planning cooperative learning lessons, you need to think about, do I have all four of these elements included? And just as a reminder, in an average classroom, 80% of the talking is done by the teacher. And sometimes that's true in cooperative learning classes as well. But what that means then is if you only have 20% of your day that students are talking, I'm going to push you to do more. If you do the one-on-one calling on, that means basically each student has maybe 2 minutes a day, maybe a minute a day to be able to talk. We can't have that happen. But the simultaneous interaction in cooperative learning says, all right, if students are only getting 20 minutes to talk, simultaneous interaction means that instead of just one student talking at a time, if you have 8 groups, you can have 8 students talking at a time. Or if we're doing quiz trade, you can have 16 students talking at a time. So cooperative learning really helps with that simultaneous interaction. So we now have covered the 7 keys, and you should be able to explain each one of these, and you should be able to think about, as you're setting up cooperative learning in your fieldwork classes, am I doing all 7 of these things?